Hey guys, hi everybody. My name is Rishi and I'm here with Dr. Tasneem Ibrahim. I got to know her through a friend, Kavita Desai, one of my college friends, and I think they're also classmates. Thanks to Tasneem, met a lot of people, did a lot of networking, and I've been wanting to talk to Tasneem. She's got lots of very interesting topics. And I think I'm hoping to get her every month to talk on something different. This time around, we chose, I asked Tasneem to tell me what she'd like to talk about, and she's talked about this concept called embracing your shadow, embrace your shadows. So I myself don't know much about it. I said, let me also figure out what this is today itself. And so here we are. Hi, Tasneem, how are you?
Hi, Rishi. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's been a pleasure having met you through Kavita. It's been a great journey
Well,
throughout.
today I hope to learn something from you.
But yes, this is one topic very close to my heart. So I did choose to go through with this first.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into this, and then at the end of this, we'll take questions from the people that have joined us also. Okay.
Okay.
So first thing, of course, I want to ask you is you said embrace your shadows, right? So what do you mean by shadows? Are you referring to like negative aspects of ourselves, or is it something else?
Okay, I'm going to explain this in two parts. First, we will take shadow. So, when you say shadow, generally the concept that comes to your mind is the negative aspect. So I will not take it as negative right now. If you take shadow per se, just shadow, it is something that is a reflection. It's something that we try to hide or something that we want to deny because you are there and it's a shadow of you. So basically, shadow it refers to those parts of ourselves that we are trying to hide and deny. Yes, it includes the negative aspects also. It includes all our fears. It includes all our insecurities also. Generally, what happens is when we are brought up, we are taught and told that these are the bad parts, these are the unacceptable parts. So we try to keep them hidden. We try to suppress them, not only from other people but even our own selves. And unfortunately or fortunately, they are hidden, but they are still a very much a part of who we are. Now, if you see the topic, it is embrace your shadows, not shadow, not singular but plural. The reason why I have put it plural is it not only includes these negative aspects, but it also includes those parts of ourselves which we are not aware of fully, like our hidden talents, our unexpressed desires, our unacknowledged emotions. A lot of times we go through traumas or other things, and those emotions are those experiences are somewhere suppressed deep inside. So these are also unexplored. These are also untapped, and because of that, it limits our potential. If you've seen, I've always said the parts that we are trying to hide, the parts that we are trying to deny or suppress, that means they are very much there in our subconscious. Both the negative aspects as well as these hidden parts of our talents and so on. And if you free these, then what happens is the burden of shame, self judgment, we free ourselves from all of that. And once you free yourself from shame and self judgment, you can live so much more freely. You can become truly who you are. And that's what Shadows is all about. Giving you inner peace, getting you a better life is actually what this course is all about.
Okay, great. So actually, that leads me to my next question because in points that we wrote, I asked you to list down some of the benefits that
Correct.
people would get if they attend this workshop, and you said they would be able to increase productivity.
Correct.
So, can you talk more about how embracing the shadows is connected with increasing productivity in their life?
See, in this workshop, basically, or this course, we are going to explore all your past experiences, all your negative beliefs and patterns, even all the other hidden aspects of yourself, which you might be holding back because you are not aware of them also. Now, once you become aware of these aspects, only then can you change the negative patterns into a positive one. So it's very important that you first know what patterns and beliefs you have in you. For example, to understand this a little easier,
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
When you carry a negative emotion or a belief, something like, let's say you have some an emotion or belief of shame or guilt or even self-doubt, which is very common. Most of us have this self-doubt in us for everything. So what happens is this weighs us down. Why? Because along with this, what comes out, the emotions that come out as stress, anxiety, even to some extent self-sabotage. And when you have stress and anxiety, it definitely will impact your work. So you can't do as well. But once you identify these emotions and work with them and change them, then you can very easily let them go. Once you've let them go, what changes from self doubt will become motivation, confidence, and even clarity of purpose. So, when you have some clarity of your purpose, then you can become open to better ideas, new opportunities. You will be more willing to try out new things. And this is how you can become productive, not and successful, not only in your professional life, but even in your personal life. So this is how it helps you.
I see. Okay. One more point in the list that you mentioned was that the benefit of that you'll of this program is that you'll get to be yourself. Now, a lot of times, by being oneself, one can be pretty painful to other people. And I'm speaking from experience because I mean I can be quite an asshole at times. Just by being myself, and I mean to the point where I'm even going to say that I'm actually going through divorce. So that's how much by being myself I can be pretty bad. So how is this a good thing? I mean, by being myself, I'm happy to be myself, but I don't know the end result whether it's good or not.
Okay, I'll explain this in with a little example. Generally, like you said, when you say that you are an asshole or a bitch or things like that, it is a part that we don't like about ourselves. Now, why would you not like this part about yourself? Uh,
So I mean, I don't know whether I like or dislike it. I think the fact that I'm being myself, which is pissing off somebody else, is I don't care, right? To the point where I'm divorced over that. So I don't care. Let the divorce happen.
Generally, like asshole is labeled as a not nice part, if I can put it that way, because most often people consider this to be a shameful thing. They consider it to be a bad thing. And why do they consider it to be a bad or a shameful thing? Because they feel that by being an asshole, you will bring pain to somebody else. You may feel that guilt because you feel that you may hurt someone, or by being an asshole, or you can cause pain to somebody else or make them feel bad. So this is why we feel that it's not like a good thing. But if you come back to an asshole, okay, let's take an example. It's a hypothetical example. Since you said you're going through a divorce, I'm not saying this is happening in with you, but a hypothetical situation. Let's say your divorce was very messy, you all are fighting in court for custody of small children and everything. Now you want to fight for the custody of your children, and if you are a very passive, submissive, nice, sweet kind of a person, you will say, okay, take it. How does that help you? But if you are an asshole and you fight it out and you get it, doesn't this help you? So this is the benefit of being it. Like, let's say you bought something and it's defective and the person is not willing to take it back, even if it's there in the terms. Then being an asshole at that time also again will help you. So this is how being an asshole is also a very good quality to possess, especially if you want to get things done in this world. We call
Nice.
these negative qualities, but these can be very, very empowering, because when we stop pretending to be perfect, unfortunately, the pressure from the world, the standards of the world are impossible. So the pressure of being that impossible standard really makes it difficult. But if you can, acknowledge that by being an asshole, I can assert myself, I can set boundaries for myself, then it becomes good. There is no good and bad quality. It is just how you are using that quality. So when now you've acknowledged that, okay, I have this quality in me and it is up to me how to use it. So you don't have to be an asshole all the time, but if it's needed, then you can be one. So this is how you can use the quality for yourself and even for your loved ones, to protect them, to take care of them also. So this is how we work with these negative qualities, also getting the gifts from each one of them. So every quality has a gift with it. And also, it's very important to remember, if someone calls, tells us that you are an asshole, it's just a reflection of their own insecurity and their own issues, nothing to do with you and your reflection, basically.
Yes, I like this. Okay, you also mentioned that the benefits of this workshop is to improve relationships, right?
Correct.
So, can you give some example or expand on that? How does it improve by embracing your shadows? It
Okay.
would improve relationships.
Often people notice that you tend to have certain types of people which come up in our life. Like if somebody is betraying you, you'll have a pattern of people betraying you professionally, personally, and so on. For example, if you keep attracting unavailable, emotionally unavailable partners, then we need to start looking at it as a sign that there is something in this for us to look back on and learn from this. Like for example, if we are attracting people who are emotionally unavailable, it could be a sign that maybe we have issues around intimacy, or we have issues around our own vulnerability. So once we learn to embrace our shadows, then what happens is, when you see that kind of a person, you tend to know and see your own flaws, your own imperfections. So you have more compassion for the other person. You can understand them more because you know that you have your own flaws too. And this is how your relationship with others will also improve, because you are accepting your own flaws, your own imperfections. So you can extend that same courtesy to somebody else also. And you will find that once you start doing this, those people will either stop coming in your life, or they will no longer have to behave in that manner, because you don't have that part anymore which is unacknowledged.
Wow,
And it truly happens. I've seen this happening all the time.
I see. Interesting. Interesting. So that should be a good thing to maybe I should do this workshop. Okay,
It's a
we
really beautiful workshop. It brings up so many things that we are really unaware of.
yeah, yeah. You also mentioned about this gift. Now, one of the thing is all of these are gifts, but I think what happens to people, at least the thoughts in my head are like, okay, is this going to lead me forward? Is it going to guide me correctly? I mean, the thoughts that are in my head, I don't know whether it's going to, is this the right thing or the wrong thing to do? Uh, how do you say, what's the right thought to follow in any given situation?
Okay, for this, I will use the word trust, which is always a major issue when it comes to anything to do with healing. Okay, and especially when it comes to the internal voice, the intuition, the inner voice, or whatever name you can give it. Because the first thing that comes to mind is, how do I know that this is my inner voice, or it is a random inner chatter of my mind, or just a random thought of my mind? So the one thing you need to understand is, if it's your inner truth, it can be challenging, because very often it will be against what you have been taught from childhood to believe in, or what society says is the norm or what is true. There are some ways in which you can understand whether it's the inner truth or the random thought of your mind. One of the ways is by paying attention to your own body. You know, if you listen to that thought and then feel it in your body, find out whether your body feels light and very expanded, or whether it feels heavy and constrictive. Our bodies are so well versed that if we start working with our bodies can give us total clues about what is true for you. When you start doing shadow, and when I have seen it, it happened to me, it happened to people. They say, yeah, I am this. I can acknowledge, yes, I have a part of me. But if you truly don't, your body will automatically give you a sign that, no, boss, you haven't acknowledged this. I am still there hidden. So this is how the body helps you. Another way to understand this is by just simply knowing that whenever it's your internal voice, it will never have a negative message. It will always have a positive message, and it will bring a gift for you. Like I said, even the negative qualities have a gift in it. So once you acknowledge them, you will get a gift from each one. And that's what we do in shadow. How to get the gifts from even negative aspects of yourself. So it will always give you a gift. The best way to get your inner voice is to go into a place where your mind is very calm. You have calmed your mind. Hypnosis, of course, is one of the best ways. I even have a audio online which is completely free, where you can, yeah, it's free, and you can take that, use that, and go into that space to calm your mind completely. You can, one of the other ways is you can sit down and follow your breath, but of course that people find difficult to do that. So you can also use that audio which is there online. Another way, and also it's important whenever you are in this calm space, the thoughts that come, make a note of them, write them down, because that's how you will understand what it is. Remember, the head can be heartless, and your heart also can be tough, but your heart will have compassion, whereas the head will only be heartless. So this is a very good way to understand inner voice and the internal chatter of the mind.
So this audio you can share with me later for me.
Yes, I will send the link, and you can always share it with, I mean, anyone can
So
use.
yeah, so what I'll do is this is being recorded. After this, I'll upload it online for people to look at it, and below this video in the description, I'll
Yes, we'll put the
because
link for that.
yeah, because this is one of the things I've always felt like, because I think especially this problem is with men, because we are more in head and less of heart, whereas women it's the other way around. I'm generally speaking.
Correct.
Maybe exceptions to the rule, but I mean, I know my elder brother has he practices, and then he finally is able to. What is my heart saying? What? And I'm like, I can never get to that state. So I'm hoping this audio of yours will help me to get calm.
Yeah, I have actually kept it online for that only, so that people who start
can
with
go.
meditations and all, they can go into that quiet, calm space quickly and get out.
Fabulous. Great. So let me looking forward to that audio. Another thing you said was, let me see. You said writing certain things down. Okay. Now, why is this important to write it down? I mean, like on a paper and pen, right? Why is it important to write it down?
If you see, most healing modalities tell you to write things down. There are many reasons why writing is very important and very helpful. First of all, when you write something down, it will help you to get your thoughts and your feelings out of your head and onto a paper, so you can process them better. A second way is, when you see it on paper in front of you, you can get clarity from it, you can get insight from it to your own patterns, to your own behaviors, to whatever you are writing down. Also, it's a very good way to record your own growth, your own progress. But the most important reason why you need to write it down is, when you write down the words, it shakes loose the emotions from it. And when it shakes loose the emotions from it, then you can look at it from a neutral view, a neutral point, without the bias, without the judgment in it. And that will help you much better. And this is the main reason why we ask people to write things down.
Wow, this is good. I have been actually doing some other program, and they talk about writing things down. Now I'm trying to connect the dots and see that it makes sense, I guess, what you're saying. Okay, we have one question from Hemant, but before I get to that question, I want to complete one of my questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see, so sometimes people keep bragging and talk about themselves. They are being themselves, right? By bragging and talking about themselves. So is this a negative quality? Is it a positive quality? Can you expand a little bit about that?
Generally, when you talk about bragging, it is generally labeled as a negative aspect or a negative quality. To understand this, let me start with this. Hopefully, if you all have gone and had talks of manifestation or talks of self-love, if you've heard any of these talks, the most important thing that happens in all of these talks is to acknowledge the good qualities about yourself. This is the one thing that all of them will say. But the one thing that they don't say is acknowledge it and share it with others. In fact, it's the opposite. अरे बताना मत नजर लग जाएगा. That is what is very common. Don't share it. But it's very important that you share it, because unless you love yourself, unless you are willing to let your own light shine, you are also stopping the other person from letting their own light shine. So if you have something good about yourself, you've done something well, you've accomplished something, it's very important you applaud your own accomplishment. Because when you light your own light and let it shine, you can show others that it's okay, boss, I'm good, you can also be good. And because bragging generally comes from a space of not feeling good, insecurity. But actually, when you feel good about something that you've done, you're proud about it, then share it, because you're not doing it from a space of insecurity, you're doing it from a space of happiness, joy, and pride. So you are willing to accept and acknowledge the God given gifts that you have, your own uniqueness. It's very sad that most people are very scared of their own power, their own success, even sexiness and creativeness. They're scared of them. But if you want to love yourself, you have to embrace all of you, the good and the bad. So when I say shadows, I'm not talking of only the dark, but even the light. You will find most people working in shadows find it more difficult to accept their light self than the dark self. It's very easy to say, yes, I am bad, but it's very difficult to accept that you are good. So it's important you recognize your own talents, appreciate it, and love it. So then you will be able to appreciate other people's gifts also without that envy and jealousy that we generally get. This is why it is so important.
Mm. Wow. Okay. I have one last question, but before I go with my question, I want to go with Hemant's question.
Okay.
He's sent me to me by email for some reason. How, and maybe we can even open up the mics now. So let me, people can unmute their mics now. How do I deal with anger? It just erupts from some past, but I don't know why. This is a question from Hemant Chabra.
Okay. How to deal? He will have to join the course. What I can tell him is, why this anger erupts. Because when you hide, deny, and suppress a part of yours, then what you haven't acknowledged will own you. It has the ownership, it has the power, you don't have the power. So it is controlling you instead of you controlling the anger. So now, if you are not ready to accept that anger has to show you, boss, I am here. Please acknowledge me. I am a part of you. So then it will come up randomly at any time. But if you know, okay, I have this with me and I can use it whenever I want, then you have control over it, and then you can choose to use it as and when and how much you want. And that's what shadow helps you to get control over all these parts of yourself that you have denied.
Okay.
So when something erupts without power, without your control, know that it's a part that you have denied.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hemant, any follow-up question on that, or this is good?
Yeah, it's good.
This is good. Okay, great. Great. So I've opened up the option for people to unmute mics. Do any of you guys have questions like the way Hemant had a question, and you can just dive right in? I'll give you a minute to think of your question. While in the meantime, I'm also getting ready with my last question, which I had. Yeah. I have a few more questions. Okay, great. So while somebody comes and thinks of what question they want to send, I have another one. So you had mentioned that you were a student of this course. That means you actually you have attended it in 2003, right?
Correct.
And what did you find impactful, and how has it transformed your life? Because you're obviously imparting this program. You're now doing this program. So
Yes,
can you give us some examples of?
I started with all of this more than 2 decades earlier, and I have come a long way since then. The one thing that really surprised me about this course was generally whenever you go for any type of healing, not only shadow, but any type of healing, the thought in the mind like, we join that healing, or we want go for that healing with the thought that I want to fix something. I want to fix myself, fix the situation, fix someone. That is what we think of healing. But this course is so different, because here you don't fix anything. Here you are actually embracing and loving everything about yourself, even the messy, imperfect, dirty, bad parts of yourself. You are not fixing it, but you are embracing it. And it's so good that, the entire course, there are many processes and activities which will be done in this course. But once you've done the entire course, it works on auto mode in such a beautiful way that after that, once you are just aware, you will find that the change and the shift is already there. You don't even have to do the processes all the time. It's so beautiful and so wonderful. And the minute you accept and acknowledge something truly, you will see the result also instantly. You don't really have to wait for things. You will find that it works so fast and so good. It's so beautiful.
But can you give us like an example, if you can share, that you did this course and then you did the process and it started working, and there was like, look, like before you were like this and now after that you were like this. So can you
Um,
give us something tangible for
I'll
us to
give
get?
you I'll give you an example for myself only.
Yeah.
Ever since I grew up, I've always hated my father. Like, it was a very, very toxic, very violent, abusive relationship that we both had. So it was something that I've always hated him for, and it was mutual, because that's what I thought, and the relationship was that way. When I did shadow, I started working with a lot of things. My father is very organized, to the extent that he's 85 plus, 87, 89 something, and you ask him who were the people who attended your wedding, what was the menu, what was the amount, he has it. He's so thoroughly organized, and I believe I am totally disorganized. I have things all over the place. So, this is the part of me that I was not ready to accept, and the toxic relationship started from there. Because I felt, why do you need to keep things in place? Why do you have to work in this manner? When I did shadow, while I was doing it, my daughter once showed me, Mama, look at everything in the house. It's not only labeled that this bundle has these clothes. You've even mentioned green sari 1, yellow sari 2, and with detailed. Your jars are labeled. When we are going out, you have 3 lists: one day before, one day morning, and it was the shock of my life that I am so organized. That's when I accepted this part of myself, that I'm also organized to the point of an OCD. And that's when, I don't know how things changed. My father called me out of the blue, and the man who we had such an abusive relationship suddenly tells me he loves me. And it was the first time after 50 years that he hugged me.
Wow.
So imagine the
Oh,
enormous change. And I didn't
yeah.
even try anything. If you
Okay.
ask me today, did you go? Did you call him? Did you work on it? No, nothing. And then we sat down and I told him, for the longest period of my time, I've hated you. And he says, yes, it was very mutual, but I always loved you too.
Wow, very interesting. So you're saying you before the program, this was the reality. Then you did the program, and there's some process that happens. There's something
Correct.
you do, and then without doing anything, your daughter came and just said, "Mom, you're so organized," and you, oh shit, really, I am organized. And then your dad, this happened how quickly after the program? I mean, was it
Uh,
like many years
It was
later?
it was instantaneously, probably a week or so. I can't
Acha.
even remember how much time it was, but it was so instantaneously that things changed so much. I mean, today he calls me, he talks to me, he video calls me. So it's strange how things changed. But that's how you need to accept those parts of yourself. Like,
Wow.
earlier, if you would tell me, you are selfish, you are mean, I would say, no, no, I am very selfless, I'm very nice. In fact, being a healer, I would feel it was very difficult for me even to ask for money. But then when I did the course, I acknowledged the selfish part of me. And today I'm sorry, boss. You have the money, you come to my course, otherwise I can't do a thing. Because I tell people openly, if my bowl is empty, I cannot give you anything. It's as simple as that. And I don't feel bad also. I take pride in telling people I'm selfish, I mean I'm a bitch. I couldn't care less. So I don't have to pretend to be something that I'm not. And believe me, that makes you feel absolutely wonderful. I
Wow.
don't have to pretend to be a healer. I tell people I go for everything. I go for events, I go for parties also.
Okay, so I know you'll say, Rishi, go and do the course, but can you just take through a trailer, some tools, some exercise? Can you talk about? I'm sure you must be talking about a lot of things in your course.
Correct.
Can you share something that we can all थोड़ा एक चखने को मिलेगा, like they say वो आइसक्रीम में वो वाला थोड़ा दिखा, वो वाला थोड़ा दिखा. Can you
Okay.
give us something
I can
to?
do, there is one exercise which I will talk about, which I won't share, but I will share another exercise with you.
Okay.
What I found very helpful in this was the shadow dialogue exercise, where one of the processes is where you will sit with your shadow. It's very eye opening. You will know how much of insight and wisdom your own shadow can give you. It's amazing to think how can a shadow give you wisdom, but like I said, the shadow will give you wisdom, insight, and a gift. So you will know why you have denied it, when you have started denying it also. One of the easy ways is, think of three people that you really, really like, and three people that you absolutely hate. Now, when I say like, I don't necessarily mean family people also. It can be even somebody like a Hitler or whatever, and that you hate. And people who you like, it could be Mother Teresa or a Shah Rukh Khan or whatever it is. So it's absolutely okay.
Okay.
You take three of each. Now you sit down. The three people that you absolutely dislike, like say for example Hitler, if you take it as one of them, you write down three qualities about that person that you do not like. Okay. So for example, he's violent or he's abusive or whatever, whatever. So three qualities you will write of those three people that you do not like. The and the three qualities of the people that you like. Then go back and see whether you can acknowledge that. And like for example, if you say Hitler mass murderer, and I say, can you be a mass murderer? And you will say, are you mad? I will never murder people for no rhyme or reason. Then I will ask you, if you were put in the same setup that Hitler was, born with those parents, in those circumstances, isn't there a possibility that you could have also been a mass murderer? The answer will come yes. We generally say no. Even in that circumstances, I can't be that. It's not possible. But you can't say no because you were not in that circumstances. If you were in those same situations, there's a very high possibility you would have been exact same thing. So that quality is there. I don't have to become a mass murderer, but yes, it is there. For example, tomorrow if somebody comes, let's say I only come with a gun trying to kill your child, will you not come in defense to kill me?
Yeah.
Isn't that the murderer part in you?
Yes.
There.
No, no,
You will have.
for me, I can even say that there are many times I have been like, इतना गुस्सा आ गया ना, in my dream, I have actually gone and taken a gun and just shot that person straight to the head in the middle. I mean, like, I was like, oh God, and then I'll wake up from that dream and like, oof, Rishi, what is wrong with you? पागल हो गया क्या? But I am a murderer in my head for sure. I have
So,
killed many people.
so, I mean, it's all those aspects. Whenever you take any, so there are many things that we feel we can't be,
Yeah.
but that is what shadow tries and shows you that everything. If you are in the universe, if you are a soul, you have everything in you. So
Right.
whatever you know of means you are a part of it, and it is there in you. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, it would not be there in your awareness at all.
Wow, this is interesting. I think we've overshot a half an hour. You have another program at 9:30, right?
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, you are always my priority.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. By the way, just before we wrap up, for those who are either here right now, I know some have to drop off because they might be having to go, but
Correct.
it's being recorded also. But how does one, first of all, like what are the commercials, right, for this program? This program sounds interesting. But what are the cost of the program? What are the time involved to take part in your next workshop? Or you said that it's even available as a pre-recorded course so people can
Correct.
do it at their own pace and all of that stuff. So what's your schedule like? If people are
Okay,
interested,
so
when's your next batch and stuff?
I do have pre-recorded videos of the entire course where I have the lectures and the processes separately, which are very well organized. So you will have a lesson one, a process one, two, whatever it is. So you know how to go about it. So that is one way. And I am also going to be doing this live from 18th of May. This is a 11-day course, which will take about 1.5 to 2 hours every day in 11 days. So you can do it live also, but you can also only do it by the videos. Even if you do it live, you will still get access to the videos, because this is not something that you will do one time and it's over. You will want to do it again and again.
I
So
see.
you have access to them. Plus the processes are kept very neatly separate so that it's easier for you. As far as the commercials are concerned, generally this course is for 15,000, but because I'm doing it with you, anybody who comes through you will get a special discount of 6,000. If they give me the code Rishi 125 is what I put.
Okay.
So then it will be 9,000 for them.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Fabulous. Okay, great. So I'll put that information down below. And how do they just email you or WhatsApp you? How do they?
I have a payment link, so I can send that and
Yes.
you can put the link down so they can easily access through that and get whatever information they want from there.
Okay, so they don't have to pay 15,000. They'll have to pay only 9,000.
Yes, if they put the code Rishi 125, then they have to pay only 9,000.
Supposing they come and pay 9,000, they get access to the recording and they're learning at their own pace. Okay.
Correct.
And they are like, they probably watch the recording after the 18th, right? So while they're watching the recording, can they also join your maybe June or July batch or some
Yes.
other batch? Yes?
They can. That's not a problem.
That's
And
good.
even if they have, they are doing the recording and they have any questions or doubt, they can always get in touch with me. I'm always available to give answers and always available to help, because this is one course where they might need it. So I'm always ready and help there. So that's not a problem at all.
Fabulous. Great. Thank you so much for that. Guys, do you have any questions? There's just two of us left. Even Hemant just says deepest gratitude.
I have one question.
Yes, Peter.
Yes.
I'll just kind of split it up into two parts.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'll try to keep it short so that we don't extend further.
No.
Let's say I'm sure you must have heard this from plenty of people. In offices, there's a lot of time that a lot of people face dirty politics, at all levels. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, me being in management level, I faced it from the last 20 years, from the ground level to reaching to the senior management.
Right.
Now, I am kind of a person who believes in the true work, and I do not try to bitch around with anybody. I cannot change myself. I try to focus on the reality. Now, I have seen people faking on the face with a fake smile, with the fake statements, and doing things which are wrong, but showing it in a way like taking somebody else's credit, pulling down somebody else and trying to grow. I am not able to do that no matter what. That's one part of my query, which I will need your inputs. Second is a little personal. Let's say in the family, because you said that you got a daughter, and I'm sure you must have helped her while she's growing. Like, if I got two kids. If my kids are running around in the house, I try to stop them, tell them, or if they're not doing their studies on time or they're watching the TV too much and all. So I try to stop that. Now, multiple times that becomes like I am the bad person. Now, what is it that I can do in which way, whether it's the office part or the personal life part, which is like, I'm not doing anything to go against anybody, but I'm just trying to make things better for everyone. So what is it that you would like to suggest or guide me with?
Yeah, the office part, you have given your own answer. You already told me, but I am not like that. I can never be like that, and I cannot change. I cannot take credit for somebody else's work. At some point or the other, we all have done this, whether it may be a school note that you have copied, or whether it may be a dialogue that your parent has said, which you are now telling your own child. So it is still your parent's dialogue. You've taken credit for it. So it doesn't matter on how it's that. So, the fact that when we say, I cannot do this, you automatically know this is a part that you've already denied. And that is why you will find more and more people coming into your life who want to take credit for your work, because you are not ready to acknowledge that you can also be like that. The minute you start accepting and integrating this part that, boss, I can do this, you will find they will no longer have to behave like that, because that part says, okay, you've already accepted, embrace me. I don't now need to keep triggering and getting you to say, I am here. So you will automatically find this change. Okay. Secondly, as far as your children running around for their studies is, children are children. They will run around. They will study. Now, the fact that they are not studying tells would indirectly say, I am a good boy and I used to study. So I can also be a bad boy who would run around and not study, is the part again that we have denied. So you start accepting and acknowledging that, and you will get your answer. This is how shadow works.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
And you will see the change. I mean, I know my own daughter was, there was a time when she refused to go to school, and I was like, I used to cringe and what is happening? Why is this happening? But when I started acknowledging that, I am also somewhere that kind where I also don't want to go into places where I would be out of my comfort zone. That's when I realized that I'm not something that I'm telling her to do. And the minute I accepted that part of me, I see now that she it's okay, it's out of my comfort zone, but I need to try something new. This is the change that I saw in my own personal life.
Wow.
That helps. Yeah.
Interesting.
Thanks.
Great. Awesome. Okay, great. Hemant, no question from your side, right? You're done. Are you there?
He's probably Hemant is on.
Yeah. Nothing more. Okay, great. Angana just kind of joined back again. Angana, did you have any question before we wrap up? Because we're just going.
Hi, Tasneem.
Hi, Angana.
I have heard a lot about you from Rishi.
Believe me, I've heard equally as much. And I'm so happy to interact with you today.
Oh my God. Thank you very much. I would love to join that session, what your workshop.
Yes. I think we'll do that. I think I'm keen to do it myself.
Thank you.
Yes.
For this workshop, most people will tell you come with an open, be willing to be open. I tell people if you're joining this workshop, be willing to be vulnerable, because we are so prone to being in control of everything that to let go of control is very difficult. So this is going to make you be vulnerable. It's going to make you leave your control. It's going to be uncomfortable, but believe me, the rewards are outstanding.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. And
Thank you.
I want to say that, how to avoid people. How to avoid people who are living with you for 24 hours and you don't enjoy the company.
I actually just told Rishi that only. You do an exercise where you write 3 people's names who you do not like and 3 that you like. Then find out the qualities of those people that you don't like. And somewhere you will realize that, you refuse to be that. I cannot be this. And that is the reason why you dislike. We generally don't dislike people. It's the quality of that person that we dislike. So the minute we acknowledge, become aware and embrace this, you will find that that person will no longer behave in that way because that quality is already embraced by us. So I have also noticed, people that I feel like, Arey, she's like this. But, then I realized that, oh, I also can be like this. And that's when I realized that that person automatically has stopped becoming that way.
Yeah.
And also, even if they behave that way, you don't feel so bad. You don't get triggered. Why? Because, Arey, I could also be like that. So it's all right. Let them also be like that. Like very recently, I know somebody who likes to go into the limelight, and even if everyone is there, she's like, I want to be the center of attraction, and I used to really hate her with the from the core of my being. But recently, I understood and acknowledged that I am exactly the same. Even I want to be the shining light of beacon over there. So when I understood this, now when she's there and she's doing that, I'm like, it's okay. Let her take her time because I also do it anyways.
Good. I would love to join your. When is the show?
It's 18th.
18th
is the live one, but the recording is available. We can start even tomorrow.
Yeah.
So guys,
this is not like a regular course where you do process 1 and then you go to process 2 and process 3. Sometimes you will find that you will be stuck on process 1 and that will only take you like enormous time to do. So you may need a break and then go to process 2. That's the reason why I have kept it on recordings also, because with the live you may come for it, but you may not do the next process because it's not like it's a separate process, chalega ye kar lete hai. If one is incomplete, the second will have no meaning. So that is why even everything is online recorded also, so that you can do it at your own pace. And you will have to do some processes multiple times to actually get into a space where you are okay with it. It's
Yeah.
not like a conventional healing at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Great. Looking forward to it. I think I'll be definitely doing this program. I may not be able to do the 18th one live, but I might do the next one live for sure.
Anytime.
This is great. Thank you, Tasneem, once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you so much, Rishi, for calling me here.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll do another one of your,
Yes.
you've got 4 programs. So I'm going to,
Yes.
one a month, I'm going to take you on and we'll do different ones.
Yeah, and I wanted to keep something, all the things which are different, not, the regular conventional things, where something unique you can get out of each one. Otherwise, there's no point in doing something that is already there.
Right, right.
So I'm coming up with something which you will not find anywhere, not in any healing course, not on Google, nowhere.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My
And for the
pleasure.
guys who are watching the video later, below this video, I will be sharing all the links for you to get more information about her program and avail the discount that she's offering to anybody that's watching this video. Thanks once again. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
Thanks, Nasi.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good
See you.
night.
Good.